Hi, everyone, and welcome to Chair Yoga. Today begins week 8 of our study of the 8 limbs of yoga, and this practice today will focus on one limb and one limb only. And Thursday, I'm going to move on to another limb. So we're going to finish these last 4 limbs of yoga with just one day's or one class time devoted to its study or its awareness. Again, I'm just going to bring you back to the book that I've been recommending. I still love it. We would be at the place of meditation. So there's a section, it begins on page 72. It's just entitled meditation. It's just a few pages, beautifully done, beautifully written, a wonderful way to introduce yourself, to kind of ground yourself in a practice if you are so inclined. I just love it. It's just as sweet as it can be. And I wanted to bring one of the things that she mentions in her little write-up about meditation is to create a space. And I guess I wanted to share my own experience of that. I'm doing this recording from a 3rd bedroom in my townhouse that I live in. And it's just this sweet little space I've created. I've tried it before in other places I've lived. I never quite got off the ground with it, where I'm really devoted to the space, where I feel like the space is welcoming me. This place is different, and it's been just a wonderful, safe spot, haven, sacred space, I would dare to say. And I come into this room and can just really feel myself shift. So I'm hoping for you that you can find that in your own life, some space like that. Maybe some of you have a similar story, which I'd love to hear in our chats before we start class sometime. But just wanted to suggest that creating a space is a worthwhile endeavor. It's been really wonderful for me. So I'm going to leave that be for now. The reference today is to the Pratyahara, and that's called withdrawal of the senses. And I think it's I know for myself, I am aware of it as I start every class or lead every class that I teach in this way, that when we come into that space, that time where I'm saying, let's transition into our yoga space, when we're changing gears, we find ourselves on our chair and we're ready to, start breathing and connecting to those things. That is really, in essence, to me, what Pratyahara is asking, is withdrawal of the senses. Come into a place where you have narrowed the field of your awareness, and it's not so expansive. It's coming into, so I can start that with my room. Coming into the room, I've already narrowed it. I used to say this a lot when I was teaching from a yoga studio, that as soon as you make the decision to come to yoga, you started the narrowing. You started Pratyahara. Because you made the decision, you got in your car, you drove to the studio, you crossed the threshold, you started finally you landed on a mat. And see, then you've brought yourself into a smaller space, a concentrated space. And our next limb will focus on that as well. But Pratyahara is about that, withdrawal of the senses in a broad stroke. And it's just really referring to that transition, the transition into this time and space. Okay, well, we shall begin with our seated position, block between the thighs, between the feet, at the ankles. Come forward on the chair so you're not relying on its backrest, and you're making sure your bottom is well supported. I want you to give your block a little squeeze so you can start this scanning of the body from the soles of your feet into the ankles. Just work your way up the body, scanning and aligning. Let's pull the belly muscles in and get the shoulder blades back and down. We're going to start with this mudra where you take your right hand first, right at the belly button, right below your belly button, and lay your left hand into it. So you just stack your hands, kind of a cup. You might remember this, I've used it before. Just sort of a cup-like shape of your hands, and then your thumbs will touch. We are in the region of our body as the solar plexus chakra. By the way, this color chart here that you see on my wall every time we get together, that's about the chakra colors. And that's what this references. We are at the yellow. That is that solar plexus chakra. And what that means is that's a whole different exploration of detail that I'm not going to get into. But what this is for us, this energy center is about agency. It's about who has charge of you, and that be you. So we just come into kind of owning our own space, taking up our own space, claiming it, knowing that it is our job to take care of ourselves emotionally, physically, mentally, relationally. That's what taking care of yourself is about. And that's what agency, or this energy of the solar plexus chakra, is all about. We have the layering of hands represents the energies of the right side of the body, the left side of the body, the giving, the receiving, the masculine, the feminine, the shadow, the light. You see what I'm saying? All these various aspects of ourselves, we're uniting them with these stacked hands and thumbs touching. So we acclaim every part of us as we close the eyes now and come into our awareness of this time and space. Full breath in, full breath out. We start to participate in the breath. Full breath in and out. Try to breathe in and out through your nose if it's comfortable right off the bat. If you need to do something different, by all means, do something comfortable for yourself. Just stay with the awareness, and now feeling your hands in this position, particularly maybe your thumbs touching, as a way of uniting right side, left side. But that probably has no meaning to you. So, just uniting all these aspects of yourself. I'll say my my spiritual side of me, and as if that's just some other part. Yoga has really, really helped me unify that, as there's no separation. There's no part of me that isn't spiritual. So why should I put that on a shelf? So just coming into the body, feeling the actual presence and experience of your body weight into the chair and here at this time. Maybe you're scanning your body and you're feeling things that are, tight or a little achy. Just acknowledge. Soften your tongue, relax your face. Let's set our intention, our particular intention for class today, what it is you need. I know that I need this awareness of the solar plexus. I need to take charge. Claim my space. Be happy. Be healthy. Be safe. Live with ease. That's what I need. Let's bring palms together, keeping your eyes closed. Rub your palms together, if you will, right at the front of your heart center. Heart center, of course, is this chakra of love and compassion. And let's take those hands gently across our face and cover our eyes so we can unite ourselves, heart to mind. We'll open the eyes there, lift those palms up all the way up and overhead. There's a little bend in the elbow. Let's hold that. Feel the squeeze of the block between your ankles. Feel the length of your body now, how expanded you are. I want you to breathe through this full length, maybe from the tips of your fingers down to the sit bones, down to the perineum, and back up. Gentle touch of the hands if you can. If this is already problematic, an adjustment might be to separate your palms, soften those elbows. Whatever it is you might need to do to adjust, of course, you do that. If you can participate in what you're seeing here, that's great, that's good. We always just take care of ourselves in this practice. So modify as you might need to. Feeling now this connecting point, point to point of your breath. Choose that point. Like I said, it could be the fingertips down to the perineum for your exhale and come back up, ascending to the fingertips. Just lifting your arms up really starts to help you feel your back, doesn't it? You become aware of your back muscles. Let's come out of that into that W shape. That's going to wake up some muscles too. So we're bringing those elbows down and pulling the hands back. The elbows kind of come forward and the hands are kind of pulling back, and you'll feel a back bend. Now really press into the sit bones, into your chair here. Just some awareness will help. So if it doesn't feel like it's all that much to you, just any awareness of pressing into the sit bones is going to stabilize that low back. Keep at it as you feel your back start to make its adjustments. You feel those muscles start to kick in to support you. Neutralize your head and neck. Should be no strain in your neck. If you're feeling strain in the neck, either get out of this pose or make some adjustment till you feel the relief of that, the release of that. Yeah, I can definitely say a blanket statement. If you're feeling tension in your neck, strain in your neck, no matter what we're doing, change what you're doing, because that's never okay. That's never something I'm going to say. See if you can work through that. I'm never going to say that. Let's extend out now into the T. Just exploring different ways our back body supports movement through the arms. I've got my hands open wide, spreading the fingers, feeling a stretch of my palms. Thumb is pointing back, which requires a rotation in those arms. Pull the belly in. Let's turn palms to face forward, and we're going to try a diagonal reach. I want you to look to make sure your arms are, in fact, in a single plane. Look up to look at the hand that's reaching toward the sky. I'm hoping I can remember to make reference like that. I like it when I do the sky, the earth, instead of the floor and the ceiling. Feel that expansion. Test how much your head can move here. Gently and mindfully see if there's any movement available as you look up. Probably enough. I'm just using my own body as a guide. I can move forward, no problem. There's not much room to go back. I can't turn any further to look behind me, hardly at all, but I got a lot of room to move forward. So that kind of thing. You're just exploring, just get curious. Drop your chin to your chest and drag your head down so you can look at the other hand, the hand that is reaching down to the earth. And same thing, you're just trying to explore, is there any range of movement, or have I already found it? There's not much, or there's a little. So you feel a little stretch. There's a big difference between what a stretch feels like and what out and out pain feels like. You know, there's definitely a distinction there. Deepen the breath. And then let's just shift the hands so we've got the diagonal reach going different, but we didn't do anything different with our gaze. We followed the hand up, so we're still over here on this side of the body. See if you can let your shoulder blades drop down the back and let go of any kind of clutching in the body, any clenching in the body that you might see or feel. And drag your chin down through the center to look at the other side. And I don't know about you, but just this gentle movement that we've taken on this diagonal stretch of our arms has brought some good awareness into my neck, and I can feel its mobility starting to kick in. I hope you are too. Let's come to that neutral position where our arms are open wide. We're going to pull back, arching the back body and closing that in nice and slow so you can feel the shift through the length of the spine. Find this rhythm of movement. This is our cow and cat at this juncture. This is the movement of extending your spine, opening up, and closing that down into a flexed position, rounding, letting your chin drop. This is the yin and the yang. So those two sides of every human being, every living creature, I'm going to say probably plant life as well, has yin and yang. Feel the dramatic movement of your belly. See if you can really bring your awareness to and participate in a real shift in the tone of your belly. So that when you're coming into this round position, you're really pulling in. Let's hold it there. Hold it. Pull the belly in. Can you bring your palms together in front of you? Palms gently together, and start lifting yourself up where the arms come around the head, around the ears, and we're back to that opening pose. Let the shoulder blades slide down the back. Feel the crown of your head located right above your tailbone. We breathe in, we breathe out. Let's try a side to side movement. At your own pace, connecting the breath or the rhythm of your breath to the rhythm of this movement. Arms are across the ears, if we can do that. I just interlaced my thumbs, connected my thumbs. It's sort of locked or bound my hands together a little bit. So it was just one less thing to contend with. Let's hold one side, lengthen through. So you feel this length all the way through one side, really stretching. Empty out that exhale, come back up, and we'll go gently to the other side. You're going to support your neck and head by bringing your arms in towards your head. That's really a good way, quick and easy way to support your neck. Feel that expansion through this side of the body. When we come back up, we're going to release it into that W shape. Just grateful to bring your arms down, aren't you? And squeeze your elbows in, pull the hands back. So it's kind of an arch of the back again, definitely is. I want you to drive your sit bones into that chair seat as much as you can, even if it doesn't feel like much. Let's interlace those hands and stretch forward into the rounded back. Drop your chin in your chest, feel your belly pull in. Inhale up, stretch those palms up. Let's try again a side to side movement, a little different hand posture. Interlaced hands. It's nice for your hands to stretch like this. It's good for your wrists. Lift up, look up. Full breath in and out. And then release a big wide circle. Individual shoulder rolls. Just, I should say, alternate shoulder rolls. Alternate shoulder rolls, pulling up, back, and down. Let's just hold one up, scrunch it up, and release. So take your time like that, alternating, but we're just going to delay each one a little bit to feel that squeeze and release. The squeeze and release all together, both shoulders squeeze and release. And then drop your chin to your chest and do something nice. I'm going to circle my head, use my chin as the pointer, a big, broad, slowly drawn circle. You might have another way of easing your neck into some more movement, a different way to approach range of movement for yourself. It's all good. You know your body. You are your teacher. Let's do one more circle going this same direction. Slow, mindful movement, whatever it is you've chosen. And then change directions or do something different. If you have gone a different route, just try something else now. We're trying to, those of you who have joined me in this circle, we're going to just go the different direction now and feel the difference in your neck by changing direction. Because that mindfulness, that awareness of the sensation is the secret sauce. That's where you can make a change that your body can actually absorb and feel, improvement. Coming back to our neutral position, let's lose the block. So I'm going to push it underneath so we can get a wider stance here. I want you to just lift your toes and then lift your heels. So alternatingly stretching your feet like that. Hands are on the thighs. We're circling around the pelvic bowl. Let's see if you can go way far forward, almost flattening your back out. So see if you can, and start slow, but that we're going to try to exaggerate this like none other. So we're squeezing those elbows in toward the waist, but we're coming way forward, almost into the fold. Stay with the same direction of the circular motion. Notice how your body weight shifts. One side of the hips and buttocks, what part of your pelvic floor, you're coming forward into that pubic bone reference. You can feel how the abdominal wall shifts. It's like, changing of the guard, who's going to take over. The next time you're in the middle, let's pause. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm talking about, so that you got your body in that diagonal position. Back of the head, neck, and spine in alignment. It's not hard. At this juncture, I'm going to guess it's not hard. You've done it 1,000 times. Stomp your feet into the floor and spread your wings. We're going to do this standing up as our balancing pose today. This is an airplane pose. We'll do something different, of course, with the legs when we stand up. But this is the general sense of it. And now see if you can lower. You're just testing because you're going to use your thigh muscles. Could you lower this frame down, keeping your head, neck, and spine in alignment, and your hands are floating? So you're relying on core strength and the strength, I'll bet, of your thighs. Don't stop until you need to. So if you could just fold, fold, fold. I think I can stop right at the level of my thighs. See if you can get there. Head, neck, and spine in alignment. Now, if the hands spread apart, makes this much more challenging, and maybe that adjustment alone, hands to the thighs, gives you access to it. By all means, claim it. Make that adjustment. Give it 2 more breaths. Press into the feet. Pull the belly in. Add that. Pull the belly in. You can hold the belly in. You can breathe in and out while the belly's fully engaged, drawing in. And then let's come up. Stomp into your feet. Legs are going to help. Bring yourself up, all the way up. Palms come together. Pause. Interlace your thumbs. Side to side movements. Hold. Pull the belly in. Now, this is a challenging one. I hear it all the time, given to me as a direction in the various yoga practices that I'll do with people, to not collapse the side we're folding into. How do you not collapse that? So try to lengthen through both arms so that lifts any sort of collapsing, any crunching. So this is open, but this is not collapsed. See if you can find that juncture where is there something in there where that side that we're folding into is not what we would call collapsed. Let's come back up and see about the other side too. Now, if your arms extended need a rest, you could try the fold without your arms to continue participating, or just take a break. Just simply take a break. Let's try to lengthen through both arms. This one for sure, that we can feel that easily, but maybe you have to get your other arm, I'm just thinking this through, longer. So I'm sliding it past. And that helps with the collapse side. It absolutely does. Knees cannot collapse either, so we're holding the knees apart. I could just see an adjustment I need to make. Remember, your heels need to be underneath your knees. Let's come back up. All the way around. Relax those arms. Shoulder rolls. Move your head. Reboot. You know, we're going to make the subtle adjustments we need to reset the body. Let's bring our right forearm to our thigh, right forearm to the thigh. I'm going to mirror you here and try a similar extension one side at a time. Is there any chance that your left leg can extend any amount? I got a soft bend in my knee for sure. It's not completely straight, but it's different than it was. So the arm that's reaching overhead, you're going to use that same side leg to straighten it out. And see if you can draw the connecting point of fingertips all the way through the whole length of your side body down to that outer ankle. Full breath in and out through this big expansive space in your sides. Take a sweeping motion to come up. We'll resituate so we've got our feet back to their neutral position. Forearm to the thigh. Extend that arm up alongside the ear. And if you can, we straighten out any amount. Straighten out that other leg so you've got a long line of extension. Feel some connection to the floor on that extended leg. Sometimes we'll just barely set it there. We lose our grounding. I want you to feel grounded in that foot as well. Full breath in and out. Soften something. Check in with your neck. And when we come back out, we're going to get that leg back to center and back into your movement round. And again, we're folding as deeply forward as we can. Manage the weight of your head. You're trying to keep your head in a line with your spine. That's where your neck is very protected that way. It's just a great way to manage that weight. And once you are aware of it, it's not that hard to do, is it? It's really not that hard to do. I want you to change the direction of your circle. See if we can really let our chest bone be the driver of this whole movement. We put the chest bone in charge here to make this movement all the way around and deep. And let's come into that halfway fold. Squeezing the elbows, lining up the back of the neck and spine, spreading our airplane wings. So palms face down, your hands are away from the body in a way that just feels comfortable and balancing to you. And then we're going to see about folding into this even more. You're going to start to feel the strength of your legs kick in. managing the weight of the head, and see where you can land. And your breath, of course, is your best guide. As long as your breath is smooth, accessible, you're working within a safe zone as far as your body's concerned. The limitation might be your mind says, no, I don't trust that. That's up to you to how much you want to challenge that or not. But if your body is saying with your breath, your smooth and accessible breath, that this is okay for you, you might want to give it a try. Strong spine, strong thigh muscles to hold you. Press into the feet, bring yourself back up. Let your arms start lifting you all the way, all the way. We're back to palms together and we're interlacing those thumbs. Inhale with me as you look up toward the sky. Exhale as you bow into your heart. Inhale up. Exhale, go wide. Let's land with ourselves in that T position. So we've got our hands rotated and we're going to draw those elbows in to the L. So we've got our palms open wide, spread away from one another, really arching through the back body. Let's give it one more full breath cycle. We'll relax and soften. I want you to bring your legs back to neutral. I'm going to turn to the side. I just want you to see a side view. You don't need to do anything to change. We're coming into our just regular mountain pose, just this standard sitting pose. I want to do some abdominal bracing. That is that you're pressing your hands into your thighs and you're going to lift your heels up off the floor so that your legs are trying to push against those braced arms. Your legs are lifting up. That's abdominal bracing, and hopefully you'll feel that in the low belly region. So just engage in that, hold it, breathe through it, maybe take a break from it and do it again. So try this abdominal bracing where your legs are in opposition to your hands. And if you can't feel it in the low belly, see if you can bring yourself to the low belly. So just start to be mindful of the low belly and try to feel an engagement. See if encourage engagement, create engagement in that low belly region. Maybe you start to pull in and up. Take a break whenever you need to. Heels are up off the floor. You're kind of on the balls of your feet and toes. Find your rhythm of breath. Relax your neck. And then let's release and come back to a neutral position. Scoot your feet underneath yourself now. Let's come into standing poses. We'll do that by way of this standing up out of the chair, boot ourselves right out of that chair. We're good at it. Come up, hover above that chair, hands on your thighs, hover above the chair in this chair-like squat. Feel that diagonal angle of the spine, head, neck, and spine in alignment. Can you reach your arms out in front of you? Not so much so that you're pulling your shoulder blades with it, but that you've just simply lifted through that shoulder socket. There's a difference. Lift up, palms come together up here. Let's get strong with the belly. Arms are alongside your ears. We're doing some side to side bends. There seems to be a theme here. I'm going to say interlace your thumbs. So it's like binding your hands together. Try not to lock your knees. Give a little softness to the knee now. Try to even it out. So it seems like you did the same number of bends on each side. And you come up to center, look up to the sky. Let's have an inhale together. Exhale, hands to the heart as you bow into yourself. Inhale up and exhale, go wide. Let's move the chair so you have the back of the chair available to you for support. I'm going to move the block completely out of the way from me. Let's just do some leg swings. I'll put this at a little bit of an angle so you can see it. And that is just one leg at a time lifts up and swings through. So you keep your upper body straight and in a nice, strong, upright, vertical position of your spine while the leg is doing some movement. It lifts up and swings through the center. And then let's bring both feet to the floor, shake both legs out. And we'll do the other side. Lifting up, swinging through the middle. Trying to keep your upper body, stable, not wiggling around too much. So we isolate the movement in our hip, in our leg. Find your breath. I don't know. See if we've done it about the same amount of time as the other. It's always my challenge. Both feet to the floor, shake that out. Let's stretch it out. Start walking back from your chair. Create that L shape. Parallel feet. Pull the buttocks back. This time you can really straighten through those knees. The back of the knees can straighten out. Stretch through the hamstrings, through the calves. Toes got to stay connected to the floor as much as your foot, as much as any other part of your foot. Pull back through the hips and buttocks. Pull back as though your femur bones or the thigh bones are trying to pull back into those muscles, into those hamstring muscles. Then we'll start walking ourselves back to the chair, back to an upright position. Just take a pause. Catch up with your breath. Back to the rhythm of breath. It might be noisy as you settle back into your breath. Let's try a little different way to rotate our hip. This time it's going to make drawing circles with a bent knee. So you're drawing a circle with a bent knee away from the center. It's like your knee pulls away from the center. This is their external rotation that we're trying to emphasize. Holding onto the chair, I'm going to suggest one hand so that your other hand can ground your pelvis. If you need both hands on the chair, do that. We always make the modification. See if you can change the direction. So now you're not going way to the outside of your body. You're trying to bring that leg through the middle, trying to rotate internally. I think I need to change my hand. Back to both feet on the floor. Shake that out. Reset the body. I'm going to turn this way. You don't need to do anything different. And then let's try the other side. So it's the circles externally rotating. We're trying to pull that bent knee. The knee stays bent and lifted. The leg is lifted as we're circling it out away from the midline. I want you just play with what kind of support you need from the chair, what to do with your hands. When you're ready to try the internal rotation, just start changing the direction of the circle. Pull yourself in, away from that region and over toward the center of your body, even over to the other side. And all the way down. Let's stretch it out. Bring your hands back to the chair and find that L shape. See if you can really straighten through your legs. You've been trying to pull those femur bones back. Maybe it means you could walk a little further back from the chair than you normally do. It's a light touch to the top of the chair, though. You're still holding yourself, but you don't need to grip it. Feel the length of your arms stretching right across your ears. Pull your chin in towards your throat. Stretch. Let's come back up. And now I'll show you that balancing pose of the airplane balancing pose. So let's shift your weight into one leg. So that becomes your standing leg and the other knee bends. I want you first of all to just practice drawing that knee up and back, right through the midline. It's kind of a real high bent knee forward and then a bit of a straightening in the back. You could play with that. You could decide if you know it feels like you have more efforting, it feels more beneficial, that you keep the knee bent. You can play with the movement. High knee forward, leg comes back in any way that you decide. Now we've patterned. Let's do the patterning on the other side too. Shift your weight. Other side becomes the standing leg. High knee forward, stretch a straight leg back. You're working within the frame of your hips, and the chair will help you keep you within a framework here. Play with it a little bit. If you keep your knee bent and you push the sole of your foot back, that's really going to tone the glutes. And maybe that's something you'd like to do. Both feet to the floor now. I want you to shake it out, but side to side. Get some side to side movement as well as anything else, but definitely get your hips moving side to side. All right, here's the balancing pose. Let's start with our original leg coming. Knee comes high. And extend that foot back. You can either touch the toe on the ground behind you and spread those wings, and or lift. Lift the foot up, float the foot above the floor, and here's your airplane pose, the balancing pose. The standing leg is important. So make sure your foot is straight. So if you need to set it up again, like, oh shoot, very crooked on my foot, you want your foot to be in a line, straight line, not all cockeyed with the heel in and the toes pointing out. Spread your wings. Whew. Let's bring everything down, shake it out, side to side movements with the hips and anything else. And let's get the other side as well. Step it back, a straight leg back, toe points toward the floor, either touches the floor or hovers above the floor, and we spread our arms away from the body in an A frame, like wings. Feel the expansion of your chest, thus broadening through the collarbones, and a bit of the feeling of the cow pose with your back. Let's deepen the breath, manage the weight of your head. Find a full breath cycle, in and out. Breathing in and out. Let's come out of that pose where both feet are to the floor, and then shake them. Shake them, shake them. I want you to add that hum. So as you're thumping down, the exhale comes as a hum through your lips. So you feel the buzz through your lips. Any amount, even if it's like very, very subtle, just see if you can add the hum. Good job, good job. Let's turn. So we've got the seat of the chair facing us, and we could put a foot up there. Face the chair's back, so you've got the chair squarely facing you, and see if you can hop your foot back any amount. Steady yourself with your hands on your thigh. Palms come together. Let's see if we can come up and interlace our thumbs, come into the pose we've done it half a dozen times or more today. Arms extend. I'm going to give you a little bit different view just so we know we're on the same. Hopefully, though, you're paying attention to your own chair, your own movement, steadying yourself. Hands come to prayer position. And we're going to fold into ourselves a little bit and see if you can get the outside of your elbow to come to the outside of that bent knee into a twist. One elbow is high to the sky. The other elbow is kind of latched on to the outside of your thigh. So you rotate your heart, rotate your chest cavity into the twist. Your thighs are energetically trying to draw in toward the midline, both legs. For those of you who want an additional challenge, you might release one hand to the chair seat and let that other hand reach to the sky. Don't let your knee collapse. Keep drawing it toward the midline. Use the chair to come away from that and reset your body. When you're ready, other foot's going to make its way to this chair seat. Just take a little hop or position yourself the way it feels comfortable. Your feet are pointing in the same direction, toes are pointing in the same direction. Both heels are connected to the earth in some fashion, to the chair seat or to the ground. And we steady ourselves with our thigh to bring ourselves upright. Palms come together, up and overhead. Interlace your thumbs. Steady your breath so you can feel the full length of your body breathing. Calm yourself into this very pose. Don't get ahead of yourself. Palms come to the prayer position at the heart. We fold forward a bit and we start to twist on this side where we bring that elbow to the outside of the knee and thigh. One elbow reaches high. Palms are really pressing. It's a way of steadying yourself. You can always use the chair. Maybe you can only do part of this. So you're going to hold on to the chair. That's perfectly fine. You know, always modify where you need to. If you want that greater challenge to reach a hand to the chair seat and one hand comes up, rotate. See if you can get your chest open more. You feel your heart space opening. Manage the weight of your head. When we come out of it this time, we're going to come into downward dog. So get your foot off the chair, keep your hands there on the chair seat and start walking back into your downward dog. Tuck your chin in towards your throat so you feel the softness in the back of your neck. Pull the hips and buttocks back to the wall behind you. I want you to feel the whole surface of your feet, the strength of your legs. As you breathe all the way through your body. Let's start walking ourselves toward the chair. Come up nice and easy. Let's find a mountain pose. Soft bend in the knee, no locking. Pull the belly in real strong and let your tailbone grow the additional root we might need. So we've got our feet and legs rooting into the earth. We want one more root. That's going to be the tailbone. The belly's pulled in. That's going to stabilize your low back like no other. It's just a wonderful, reliable way to stabilize. Close your eyes if you can and feel the pose from the inside out. Feel your breath. This is an opportunity as well to experience Pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses. We are located within ourselves now. Our space is in a small container within the depths of our inner body. No sensation of the outside, no sensation of other people around us, listening, talking. We're quiet within. Withdrawal of the senses. This is the Pratyahara, centering. Feel the aliveness of your body. Let's flutter the eyes open. Inhale the hands up together overhead. As you exhale, you're bringing your hands to your shoulders. Let's take a wider stance and just move in a twisting motion just to start unraveling any tension we had started to hold in the body as we start to transition towards Shavasana. I'm kind of using this airplane theme. This just came to me right now. So I'm just playing. This is a playful time of just letting those arms move, dipping around, loosening up, transitioning to Shavasana. Let's release our hands so that now those extended arms can just freely flow. And let's stand in our mountain pose, bringing your feet back to hips distance apart. Right hand at the belly button, lay your left hand right into it. Thumbs are touching, soft bend to the knee. Again, we close the eyes and connect with all parts of ourselves. We unite all parts of ourselves here at the solar plexus chakra, claiming our agency, our ability, our duty, our responsibility to take care of ourselves, to claim our own space. The uniqueness of who we are, and the energy and the light and the love that is ours and ours alone to bring to this world. I do this in a standing posture on purpose because it's stronger. Full breath in and full breath goes out. We flutter the eyes open now. Let's find our sit. Let's bring ourselves to Shavasana and sit back into the chair. Some of you in the book, she brings our awareness to the legs up the wall pose. How about that for some of you who know that as a favorite? I just loved it. That she says, I can't not do it. It's like that. I know. I just want you to know about this legs up the wall pose. It's so great. It's in the book. Let your legs just fall any way they need to. Feel the support, the total support and beauty of that support. Come into this space now, this sacred space of yours, and be filled with love, light, and acceptance of yourself as you are here and now, the unique individual that you are. Let the chair hold you there, support you right there. Breathe in through the nose, exhale out of your mouth like a sigh. Do that as many times as you need to feel like you've cleansed your breath and you're ready to simmer down into a silent breathing pattern. It's very effortless. Your breath becomes very quiet and effortless. Relax your back body and your shoulders and your arms. And if you like the mudra and are drawn to it, please invite that back in, where you just hold your cupped hands stacked right there at the belly button region. Connect your thumbs and let that bless you. It's this gesture of unifying all aspects of yourself. Feel a sense of connecting to Mother Earth and being held there by that energy of the mother. I am in our familiar book, a familiar book of poems, yet I have never read this poem, and I love it. So there are dozens of poems I have yet to discover. Here's a new one. Turn your world red. Cardinal calls me from the railing of the deck. Turn your world red, he says, insistent, beckoning. Risk life outside your hard-earned walls and windows. Cast aside caution, propriety, and your too small sense of what you can and cannot do. Fly. I tell you that the sky knows no constraints. All you are or can be comes clear in the near approach of clouds. Fly. That which you fear the most holds your deepest teaching. Let your spirit be the bridge between safety and release. Soar to the far end of what is known from dawn to twilight, then throw yourself at the whim of the wild night winds. Turn your world red and live with no regrets. Fly, and if you are blown off course, just change your destination. Choose to land wherever your 2 feet are standing. Bring your palms together at the heart space and begin to rub those palms. But let's just interlace them now. Keep eyes closed if you're comfortable doing that. Interlace your palms, your hands, your fingers, and extend those palms away from your heart center out in front of you. Stretch your arms, stretch your hands, interlaced hands, and then keep them interlaced as you lift the palms toward the sky. Eyes are still closed. As you release your hands, you'll start to bring yourself away from the backrest and all the way back to an upright position as the eyes flutter open. Let's meet with our hands in our mudra, the cupped hands, right under left, touching the thumbs. Take a deep breath in and out. Thank yourself for your participation, for your self-care, for the aliveness you've created within your body and soul. And thank you for the Sangha that we have formed, this community of support and love. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Palms come together up and overhead. Hands come to the heart. We bow into ourselves. Inhale up. Let's share the joy. Let's share that energy all the way around our community. Again, we bring our hands to the prayer position. We bow to one another. Namaste, my friends.
Namaste. Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.